probably it's the best one I've been to. Musically, it's not one of the stronger. I mean, they're all good. I mean, again, you know, we'd like to compare. You know, it's like this could be the third, but you know, this one is really the best. Which is it? Listen, I mean, it's still great show. Musically, it's great. I think they just the execution.
John, are you gonna get 50?
Yeah, I'll get a 50-50.
And they came out of the gates for that.
And they
First show.
So,
how much are they?
You want one?
Yeah.
You get one more?
How much are you 50?
Well, I don't know. Did we draw the number?
No, I haven't
how much?
done anything. I just started
No,
ripping them up.
we were close, but we'll take one more, I guess. $5 for the worms.
Oh, they get down. But if this brother, you might want to try something like that.
There's your 9-time champ, WBHS Marching Band. Great
You guys
job.
do. You guys get the kids there. You gotta be like, you guys. Oh, you do. I mean, Tom creates a good culture. I mean, that from the beginning when I was here.
And we welcome everybody back. We are live here from West Deptford. We apologize for the technical difficulties. Let me adjust the camera here. Our Ethernet cable that connects us got disconnected there, and we've got it back in. We want to thank again West Deptford for doing a great job with their athletic department of getting us hooked up with that, getting us on the air so far. We're doing a nice job. And Kevin, things started good for Sterling, and then I think reality kicked in.
It is. You're outmatched, and I think when West Deptford started to utilize all their weapons, namely Graber in the passing game, getting the ball downfield, Sterling for a time was biting on the run, and ultimately once West Deptford stretched the field, there was just too much to contend with on Sterling's end.
And again, let's see what Sterling can do offensively. Maybe we can get something on the board here. They're showing something today, John.
They really have, and again, they've played unbelievable. Again, they're not getting any points, which is very unlucky. But again, they're playing against the #1 team here. So you can say, yeah, they're doing bad for points, but overall, if you look on plays, they're doing way better.
Yeah, they've done a good job. Kevin, I like the comment you made about the offense tonight compared to the last month.
Yeah, I think in the last couple of weeks things have sputtered a little bit, but I felt like early on some of the calls were very good in that they got Thompson and Estremera into a rhythm early, were able to get things going, and you could see Strong playing with a little bit of confidence. But, again, you're going against an opponent that is just on another level, and something like that. You can stop them for a play or two, force them to punt, but ultimately there's so much talent out there that it's going to take over, and that's why you're looking at a 27-0 first half.
And, John, you think about the one time that we did have them punt early on, West Deptford hurt themselves on 2 occasions, and that helped us out.
Really, again, we go through that Clark getting that nice big tackle, and also West Deptford getting that personal foul, which really drive them up about good 36 yards away from their first down. We were really able to capitalize on that. But overall, defensive-wise, we've been able to sometimes stop the run game and sometimes not.
And it's been interesting here that you look to the future, Kevin. We were looking down the rosters. I'll pick it up here again. And as we look right now, you've got your quarterback in Thompson, a sophomore. Estremera, your featured wide receiver, a sophomore. Trayvon Potts, who's played a great game in the secondary, he's a sophomore. Larry Williams is a junior. Jameer Richardson, a sophomore. So there's some weapons here. I think it's a matter of finding out who's going to play the offensive line.
That's it. And you got a couple guys who are hurt right now, but at the same time, if you're a young guy, reps against a team the likes of West Deptford, obviously they played against Willingboro, the favorite in Group 1. That's only going to help you down the road. And, playing varsity as a sophomore is going to pay dividends. We looked at this West Deptford team. Obviously, they're good year in and year out. One of the reasons they're good this year is because they've got 5 or 6 3-year starters.
Well, right now we're at the half as some people are coming through here. And
Coach Clyde Folsom here jumping in.
Sneaking in there. He's right
behind us.
behind
All our
us here.
accommodations up here.
Right now we are at the half. West Deptford, I'm getting through the door there. West Deptford is on the field. Sterling is just about coming back on the field, so we hope in another couple minutes to have some live football action for you as we get ready for the second half. Playoff action this past week, our girls volleyball team went up to a higher-seeded team. They won the first game, lost the second game. Unfortunately, they also lost the third game, so their season is done. And what made it worse for them, Kevin, is they found out after they lost that the team they would have played actually lost. They would have had a home game in return. So, nonetheless, a good season of volleyball. Girls and boys soccer is both done. Field hockey went further, I think, than they've gone in a lot of years. So the girls have really done a good job overall, especially field hockey.
Had a real good run there, and I know track is in section. I think they had sectionals or have sectionals tomorrow, and there's still, some people competing there. So that's the last, and obviously after tonight, that's the last of what's left in a fall sports season.
So what we have planned here after tonight, this will be our last fall broadcast in this football game. The basketball season usually starts around the 14th or 15th of December. We'll have a good number of home games, and we'll have them not only live on Channel 19 on cable, we're going to have them live on YouTube as well. It's going to be girls and boys basketball. The wrestling team has also decided they like the coverage so much that they're going to have their matches in the new gym and be on YouTube as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how this winter season comes about.
It's neat, and I think, each time you do this, you get better and better at it, and we have Andrew Kane, one of our tech wizards right there, helping us out. We're doing a great job when we have a few hiccups along the way. But it's great to provide the live coverage because, a lot of times with the afternoon games, sometimes even the 5:30 games for basketball, parents can't get home. Or there's other relatives who can't get there. They can watch it on their phone or even obviously on their TV if they have a smart TV.
And what happens, too, on YouTube, if you watch it live and you miss parts of it, the game about an hour or two after the game gets cataloged on YouTube, so you can go and scrub through and watch any part of the game that you'd like to watch. That's a neat thing for the players.
Yeah,
as
and
well.
any time you want to watch, too. You kind of always have that to go to. Maybe watch a little bit at certain points when not everybody has the 2 hours or whatever to sit down and watch something. So, like you said, it's cataloged. You can always go to it. And, it's a neat thing. And it's a neat addition to what we do here at Channel
Let
19.
Andrew get his little TV time here. Here's Andrew, our cameraman. Andrew was gathering by the fire of the heater. Let's get him on.
Andrew's warmed up.
Andrew's got to go back and get ready for business, so go get him, Andrew. Andrew seems pretty excited about that, so there goes Andrew. We'll switch back out to his camera and get ready for second half action here right now. And we'll wait till Andrew is ready. We'll turn the lights off and see if we can get back to our game action. Andrew, are you ready? Well, he's getting together. We'll give him a second there to get his stuff organized.
I don't understand what he's complaining about. It's totally not cold out there. It's not the coldest.
It's great.
As John sits here with his hot chocolate.
It's great having this heater in here, too. I'll tell you what, going outside at halftime, it's cold, folks.
Yeah, and I thought it was cold even before the game, and it's got to be colder now.
So we're just about set. We'll bring our taped audience back with you in a second. Again, we apologize for a little bit of the break in the action. We've corrected that, and we are just about set to go once the Nook of the North gets himself all settled in here. All right, we'll get his headphones on.
Well, it's not to mention a couple weeks or about a week ago, they were saying snow was supposed to come here too.
So we welcome everybody back here on Sterling High School TV 19. Tad Kazaniski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood as West Deptford will kick off. They lead it 27-0 as we are getting set for the third quarter of action on a Sterling end of the season game here tonight, as this one's all but academic. We're going to see if they can get some offense going and make this an interesting one as we go along. Glad you're with us here live on YouTube, or if you're watching us on the recorded version on Sterling High School TV 19 as we get set for the third quarter of action.
They'll either play Delran or Manasquan.
The fans are already figuring out who they're going to play next week. You heard that. Here comes Estremera. Estremera still on his feet, gets about the 22-yard line where Sterling will take over 1st and 10. And as we mentioned for our live YouTube audience, this has been, even though Sterling has not scored, they've done a good job opening up the offense tonight.
They've done some good things, and again, we said it's tough to say it, and you look at it, score 27-0 at the half, but against a much better opponent, doing better and definitely playing better in our minds than they played the last 2 weeks.
Thompson from the shotgun, or from handoff, I should say. And that is going nowhere as they tried to get the ball into Richardson. No gain.
Well, the penetration, they're getting up the middle to put pressure on Richardson within the passing game right there just led to a stop in the run. It's just a wall kind of coming up the middle, and they're really able to stop everything at this point.
So 2nd down and 10 as they get back to the original line of scrimmage. Just underway here, third period playoff action here in Group 2. Trying to talk over the spectators here as best I can. We're sitting right by our crowd mic. Richardson to the left side of your screen. He pushes ahead, as he gets out to about the 30-yard line, a gain of about 7.
A good job by Richardson finding a little bit of a seam off to that right side and getting upfield in a hurry. Another one of those sophomores, Tad, we talked about, a big body, and he's only going to get better over the next 2 years.
First drive of the second half. Sterling trailing at 27-0. We broke the first quarter 6-0 West Deptford. 21 unanswered points in that second quarter. Shotgun for Thompson. Gets the pass off. Estremera is going to get a first down. Gets pushed ahead. Still on his feet. Nice move here across the 46, down at the 47. Tackled by Alejandro Jimenez. A gain of about 17.
And that's one of the things, Tad, we like from Estremera. Even when we saw him last year come in as a freshman, makes the catch, but is instantly looking to turn those shoulders upfield. Very elusive, and you definitely saw it right there, making about 3 West Deptford defenders miss.
Really good job by Estremera. Defense, it's like as soon as they thought it, they caught him, but he was already out.
1st and 10 from the 46. This is Vales. Vales is going to lose 3 or 4 yards. In the backfield there was Tyon Cherry, a junior, on a great play. And on the bottom of your screen, slow to get up, is Jeremiah Thompson. That's why they blew the whistle. You see him there, number 3, the quarterback.
Yeah, and there was a couple different levels of upfield penetration there on the outside.
He may have to come off, Kevin. Let's see. The only other option is you see him here. I think the referee's pulling him off. So you're going to see either a backup quarterback or a timeout. I did not see what happened. Now, coach is just being informed as what's going on.
Would not be surprised if they, I guess they're going to have to take him out.
Let's see what the official is going to do. I'm waiting for the official.
They're going to add time to the clock, I think.
And coach, you see the top of the screen. He may take a timeout here to get his quarterback back in. There's still nothing has been signaled anywhere. All right, now we get a timeout. Now what's happening here? Who's getting charged the timeout would be my next question. Do we assume it's Sterling? All right, there we go. Timeout. Sterling. All right. We'll take a break. Sterling will have 2 timeouts remaining. We'll return with more. 9:55 to go here in the third quarter.
Again, the weather.
And we apologize for our live audience there because, again, the officials were not very helpful to us on that one as to what was going on. So once you get your quarterback hurt, the only way you can get him back in the game is call timeout, John, and that's what Sterling did there.
Yep, and they might going to be putting their backup. The refs kind of go back to the coach.
You know what? Grace is right there. I don't know. Does Grace? Well, we'll find it. Let's bring back our taped audience here. So after Sterling takes their first time out, Brandon Grace is going to be over center. So Grace over center. They send a man in motion and into the backfield on the right side of your screen. Like sharks in a feeding frenzy. That was Bobby Royal. Also in there was Alejandro Jimenez. Loss of about 5.
Now they continue to blow up the middle. And, right around the early part of the second quarter, that's where you saw them take over the game. They've just continued to do that. As you see, Jeremiah Thompson come back into this game.
I hate to say it from that play. Like, where was the offensive line on that play?
It was almost... That wasn't good. Let's put it that way. It's 3rd and about 17. Thompson from the shotgun, a bad snap, and he'll just jump on it, and that will bring the punt team on. Unfortunately, that has been a problem this last month here of the season. There's been a lot of injuries, Kevin, on the front line.
There has been, and that's not too much Jeremiah Thompson can go to do with that one. And as you look at him setting up for the punt right here.
He's on the right side. He'll punt again. The wind kicking up just a little bit. It actually was no wind at halftime. Now they get a good snap. High kick. And go up to about midfield. Takes a Sterling bounce. And Sterling will down it. We'll take a break. 8:33 to go here in the third quarter. 27-0 West Deptford.
I was again a couple weeks ago, actually a week ago, saw there was going to be snow Friday. I was like, that's definitely going to be interesting for this playoff game, but then they just said no snow. It's going to be moved to Tuesday.
So on the left side of your screen, you're going to see West Deptford with the ball on the left side of your screen, and we'll come back with our live taped audience, I should say. come to an interesting situation here. We talked about snow. I'll come back with a story on that in a little bit. 1st and 10. Pass play. Looking, scrambling now is Grable. Graber gets the pass off. It's caught by Gilmore. Gilmore for a gain of about 7 to the 45-yard line.
Tad, I was just going to ask you, maybe I forget, have we ever done any games where there was some snow? I know
No, we haven't. There was a game here, a championship game, I believe it was in West Deptford, maybe 12 or 13 years ago. They had to bring the town plows onto the field the day of the game to play, and there was snow in the end zone 10, 12 feet high.
Wow.
I forget the year and who they played, but it was a championship game, an ice bowl, right up the middle here. This is Cherry. Cherry gets a first down and more as he's going to get out to about the 30-yard line, and that'll move the chains. But, yeah, I remember looking at the highlights of that game, and if you search maybe West Deptford championships in snow, it might come up on YouTube.
Okay.
I know it's out there somewhere, but I remember them talking about
full
how
game maybe
they
on
had
YouTube?
they had 3 and 4 trucks, plow trucks, that had to go back and forth up and down the field because the snow was that deep for the first week in December.
Wow.
And I'm guessing that was probably 13, 14 years ago, somewhere in there. 1st and 10 from the 31. Here comes Bookman. Bookman inside the 20, down at the 19-yard line, tackled by Potts after a gain of 13.
Well, just as we have been talking a lot about that defensive line controlling the line of scrimmage, I think we've left out what the offensive line's been able to do, and not only the line, but the backs lead the way for some of these backs on these runs. And right now, West Deptford is obviously just taking over this game in a big way.
They are the #1 seed for a reason. Going to a different set. Good running with it is Bookman. Bookman's going to get about 8 yards as he gets out to about the 11-yard line. So if you're just tuning in, you're not familiar, this West Deptford team has won a ton of championship games over the last 20 years. And they come in the #1 seed, very, very favored into this game as well as many others.
And the thing about them is that, you know, year in and year out, not only do they have a great senior class, but they have good bounce throughout. Graber, like we said, at the quarterback position, only a junior, so they don't rebuild, they just reload. Very impressive what they've been able to do here.
2nd down and 2. They've got a pro set here. This is Bookman. Bookman going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. So Bookman for the touchdown, and it increases the lead. That's his 2nd running touchdown of the game.
Well, not much we can say about Bookman that we haven't already said. Just a great back who gets to the line of scrimmage quickly. We always say, John, that's an offensive lineman's best friend, to have a back that gets up there quick. You don't have to hold your your block for long. And once he gets to that next level, he's really explosive.
This is deja vu of the game at Sterling. If you get 35, you get a running clock. So I think this is one indication that Sterling's okay with them going for 2. If they get 2 here, we'll have a running clock. So they'll run a play here. Back to pass. And it is caught. So the 2-point conversion is good as Tyshawn Bookman leads it. And it is now 35-0. We'll return with the running clock when we resume here on Sterling TV 19. Yeah, for our live audience watching on YouTube, especially if you're not in South Jersey area, they put a rule in, I'm guessing about 10 years ago. Once you go up by 35 points, the clock will run continuously. In a normal situation, you wouldn't go for 2 there, Kevin.
Right.
But I think that's just a chance there. The last game I said it was deja vu because it was 34-0. And the clock would stop and stop and stop.
Yep.
So you're going to see now, for the time they kick off and start play, this game is going to move along.
Yeah, and it's a good rule because at that point, obviously, when you're 35 points ahead, nobody in high school football is coming back from being down 35-0. So,
Unless if you're the New England Patriots.
They don't play high school, so we're lucky with that.
Oh, yeah.
Tad Kazaneski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood back with you here from a very cold West Deptford field. First round of the playoffs here in the third. It's 35-0. As we indicated, the game will move quickly now as it will not stop once this ball is kicked.
And guys, you know, you're obviously West Deptford, the #1 seed, but this is a team that could run the table and easily win that bowl game up in, they have it at the Meadowlands or Rutgers Stadium, but they are the definition of a complete team on both sides of the ball.
And many championships behind them. Ratcliffe in to kick off. Estermera coming up. He'll take it at the 15. Going far side to the middle now. Now gets a little bit of the seam. He gets an edge. Estermera across the 40. And he is tackled out of bounds, and the flag flies late. This might be against Estermera, who kind of threw a hand in there at the kicker who came in. I believe that's the kicker. So let's see what we have here. Is the official on the white hat? We'll see what he calls here. He's looking.
I still think it's going to be
personal foul against West Deptford on the hit out of bounds. Estermera didn't like it. I thought, Kevin, they were going to catch Estermera. It's almost always the second guy.
And they got the second guy who came in from West Deptford,
which was the kicker.
The kicker, and then there was another hit coming up, and I think that's when the flag came out.
So 5:41. The clock should be running right now. So I think they'll set it and run it. And here we go. The clock will run.
Yep.
And it's a 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Thompson over center. And jumping, unfortunately, on the right side was number 11. Missed the count. It's going to cost him 5.
Trying to get a head start.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to need it with the front line you have here. So they'll start it all over again. It's going to be a 1st and 15. Again, the clock, the big story here is it will wind very quickly. Sterling in their last football game of the season. This looks like old school, Kevin, double tight.
Yep. Well, they need to give some help on that interior, and or even with protection.
Richardson gets him about 3 back. It'll leave him 2nd and 12 or 13.
Yeah, Tad, as I was saying, I find it hard to believe that there's going to be another team in Group 2 that's better than this West Deptford team. Obviously, anything can happen within a game, but, man, their offense, they can run the ball, they can run to the outside, run up the middle. They can throw the ball, throw it deep. They execute the screen, the plays to the flat.
Sterling with a lot of confusion on this play here. Schul's going to run in, line up on left end. 2nd and 13. This pass is off, and this is going to be, what a catch. I thought this was going to be overthrown, and the catch was made by Estermera. And I think the difference on that one, Kevin, is what I was asking for at halftime. That was more of a line drive throw and let him go get it.
Yeah, and a great job by Estermera staying with it. And it looked like the defender kind of thought it was going to be shorter. And Estermera made an outstanding catch there, and he's down.
And I really got to credit Estermera. I thought he stood 0% chance of catching that ball, and he laid out completely and made the play. What a job by the sophomore, Estermera.
I'm going to guess he might have landed on that ball, might have had the wind knocked out of him.
When you threw it up, and Estermera was kind of going like mid-speed, and all of a sudden Estermera just picked up the speed and made a diving catch.
Sterling inside the 20 from the 15, 1st and 10. 2 backs on each side of Thompson. Send a man in motion. There's that bad snap again. I believe the quarterback jumped back. This is going to cost Sterling 5.
Honestly, I would rather have
a legal substitution against Sterling is the call. So
lose 5 yards and I'd rather lose 5 yards than lose 5 yards and go 2nd down.
So what happened there is there was a little bit of confusion that Estermera was coming out of the game. They ran some players in late. As we're at 3:30 and counting to play in the third, Sterling back to the 20 on a 1st and 15. Estermera back in. He's a wide out to the near side, joined by Grace in the slot. Man in motion is Williams. Low snap again, and just able to jump on it is Thompson. And Kevin, unfortunately, that's been a problem this whole last month of the season.
I'm almost saying, I don't know if we could go to the shotgun at this point.
Now, your son does the long snapping, right? Yeah.
Right,
And the
yeah.
problem you have there is he's a tight end.
He's not a center. Yeah.
No, and that's the problem. And he's doing fine. It's just they are not getting, and they have done a couple over center. Yeah. But the problem is to pass, it makes it so much harder on him. We're going to try it again. This is second down at about 25. Ooh, all right, got the snap this time. Passes off, incomplete, looking for Williams. Williams had good coverage by Gismondi.
And at this point, if I'm a center and I'm having that much trouble, I'm almost saying, you know, when you go down, look through your legs and don't even worry about who's in front of you. Just worry about getting
Get the
it
ball
back
there.
It's not how it's taught, not how you have to do it, but at this point, you need that connection.
It's almost been a comment on the season as we get a timeout called Sterling. So Sterling will spend their second timeout. We'll step aside. 2:10 remaining here in the third. Sterling trails at 35-0. And, John, it's just a shame Sterling was able to get the ball to the 15-yard line, and they're going backwards.
It really has, again, with that illegal substitution and then that very low snap and that we keep seeing this month recently again. So it's definitely been a real struggle for Sterling's offense with the snaps being that low.
And if there isn't enough pressure on Thompson, he's got to worry about getting the ball off the grass.
Yeah, you could see it. Yeah, and that's just natural. He got called for the offside going back because you're just trying to start things quicker because of the penetration they're getting up front.
After Sterling takes their second time out, it's going to be 3rd and 25. Grace goes in motion, and he went in motion as they snapped the ball, and he went in front of. It was one of the oddest things I've seen. I don't think we saw it on camera. He went in front of Esther Mara, which I've never seen. They're both discussing on the left side of your screen. Estamare and Grace are both talking that one over. Somebody zigged when they should have zagged. So now, on another penalty, let's make it 3rd and 30. And like I said, it's almost a comment on the season. You get that close, and now you're backing yourself up on your own mistakes. 3rd down and 30.
There's the same play that we were trying to do.
Good coverage, trying to get it out for Grace, but a real nice job on coverage there as they tap shoulders. Coming in to make that play was Gavin Gismondi, who's played a good game tonight.
Yeah, Gismondi's been all over the place. I know he's one of those guys that flies to the outside and really right there shows great coverage underneath on Brandon Grace.
Clock will continue to run. 1:26 and counting in the third. It's a 4th down and 30. I'm sure they practice this every week. Not one of those players you're used to seeing, John.
Yeah.
How about this? Looks like Mike Estermera run down the sidelines, throw it in the end zone.
Jump ball.
And that's where we're headed, I think, here now. Estermera lines out all the way wide left side. Grace is in the slot. Also going out wide now, the left is Richardson. 4th and 30. Estermera takes it. Gets by one, has a little room down the sidelines, almost an illegal tackle. No flag is thrown. As he gets out to the 20, it's going to be a gain about 15, leaving him 15 short.
Almost got the horse collar right there, but it was, I think the way he brought him down, it was usually if you get somebody and it happens a little bit quicker, you're more likely to get called for that, but kind of brought him down slowly, and I think that's the reason why they didn't get the call. Got the call. If you got that call, you would have had a first down.
It was he reached for it and then let it go.
Yeah.
It didn't actually pull him down. So West Deptford, 1st down and 10 from the 22. They're on the left side of your screen. Reverse coming right into your living room. This is Bookman. Bookman's going to get a 1st down and a gain of about 13, and that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter. 3 quarters in the book here from West Deptford. The Eagles well on their way. They lead at 35-0. Back with our audience in a moment. And for our taped audience, our last quarter of football coming up here on Sterling High School TV 19. Again, we'll remind you, coming up in the winter, we'll have girls and boys basketball We'll also have wrestling, and we usually get a swimming match or two in there as well. The wrestling matches are going to be in the new gym, so they will be live on YouTube as well the basketball games. So, again, if you're a fan of ours on YouTube and what we broadcast here, you can catch all the action right here on YouTube/Sterling TV 19.
Even if you're not near a TV or a computer, you can watch it on your phone. So a lot of opportunities to catch the action. Like we say, if parents are working or relatives from further away, you could be anywhere. You'll be able to get it on YouTube.
Tad Kozineski, Kevin Schulz, John Hallwood, our last quarter of action here for football in the 2019 season. First down and 10. Delay. This is Bookman around the edge, and Bookman pushed out of bounds after a gain of about a yard. Clock will run on every play here, so not too many plays left for this West Deptford team tonight. Sterling a chance here for some seniors in their last game. Jacob Johnson, Brandon Grace, Jason Schulz, Juan Vales, Connor Zabarski, I can never say his name, Kevin Sparangowski, thank you. Shane L., who's not in this game tonight, Albert Davis. We'll get to a few more seniors after this.
That's a full
Somebody jumped.
A lot of jumping right there.
Again, you mentioned those names, so this Sterling, that's a lot of big players that Sterling's gonna lose.
Stephon Johnson also, Giovanni Barrios, Gavin Clark, who had a heck of a year defensively.
Yep.
Dawson Donnelly is senior, and that is your senior class of players that are going to move on, and most of them probably not going to play football again, so it's a chance for them to get a couple more snaps in their lifetime here. And
season didn't go obviously like they had planned, but a lot of really good kids, and the score doesn't show it, but came out here and played hard. Again, you're just going against a team that's just better. I mean, a lot
this
better.
is Graber. Graber pushing ahead to the original line of scrimmage, leave him third and about 10. And again, that's something I think Sterling has fought this entire game. Up and now flags are, speaking of fought, flags are flying here. So, now a little muscle taunt there by West Deptford. This is where you got to watch things, I think, if you're West Deptford. You don't get anybody ejected out of this game.
No, that's could be a real concern if that happens, obviously. And I'm sure coach is going to echo that to his players. At this point, you just want to get out of here uninjured and
personal
move on.
foul, Sterling. And you can understand the frustration, 35-0, but doesn't mean it's right. So that'll move the ball across midfield to Sterling's 49, where it'll be 1st and 10. And this is one of those sports, Kevin, where you can revisit it and revisit it and revisit it. And as long as your coach leaves you on the field, you guys are going to go back at it again.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens on this play. Hopefully everyone can continue to just play the game. 1st and 10 from the 49. Graber over center this time. Bookman thrown out of bounds by Larry Williams. And some extra talking going on here.
Now, I know it looked like people were going over there, but it looked like Williams, he was still in bounds when he made the tackle.
Bookman on the carry, gain of 5.
It's just one of those things, again, it's you just got to play through it.
But you can see this is why we said this is a very good rule, having this running clock.
Clock now at 9:27 and counting. 2nd down and 4. Back to pass.
He's going to go for a deep ball.
Across the middle, coverage there, incomplete. I'm really surprised they tried to throw on that one. It's probably if Sterling was mad, now they're really mad. That's something you don't want, as there's a shaken up player or two on the field. That's something, again, you hate to see here. It's 35-0. There's 9 minutes left with the running clock, and tempers are already flaring, and that probably just throws gas on the fire right there. And neither team really taking any of their players out.
I think West Deptford did with a couple of their players.
Their quarterback is still in. Their running game's still in. So here we go. 3rd down and 4. This is Cherry. Cherry going to get the first down, and that'll move the chains. I think if you're from a Sterling standpoint, if they run it on you, fine. They run it. It's just passing is not the most pleasant thing right now.
Play call a little bit right there.
And again, we're choosing our words very carefully as we're up here. And it's easier when you're on the losing end of that stick. When you're on the upper end of the stick, everything's fun and it's a party. But 1st and 10 from the 36. Delay. Around the edge here, this is Dixon. First time we've seen him run today. Dixon with a nice run. Grace pulls him out of bounds. That's going to be a gain about 22 or 23.
Something that's been really effective for West Deptford is that delayed handoff to the running back can go to the outside. And it fools the Sterling defense pretty well.
Yeah, we've talked about how good they are at reading and adjusting to what happens in front of them. And that's one of the many instincts you need as a running back. And these West Deptford backs definitely have that. There's no question about it.
1st and 10 from the 17. We're now under the 7-minute mark in this game. Bookman. Can he stay in bounds? Did he stay in? He did. Bookman in for the touchdown. And West Deptford increases the lead.
Flag on the field.
And now a flag goes late.
I think that's gonna be on West Deptford. If not,
yeah, obviously we can't hear what's being said between the two teams.
I don't know why West Deptford would get a foul there.
taunting.
Sideline warning? He's going to come over maybe and talk to the coach. This might be, like I said, a sideline warning, Kevin. Let's see. Again, we don't have microphones down there, so we don't know who or what. But our cameraman caught it. It was very late. I guess it's after the touchdown, so the score remains 41-0. And now they're lining up for, I thought they were going to run a muddle huddle play, and now they'll kick this one. So this will be a kick. In to kick this will be Ratcliffe. Kick is good. 6:37 to play in the game. West Deptford leads it 41-0.
And the foul on that play that we just saw was unsportsmanlike penalty. I didn't.
Yeah, like Mr. K said, it's tough for us to, with it being not being mic'd up or knowing what's being said or what happens down there. But yeah, just a game where at this point you want to just get through it, and move on.
That's all you can do. Again, West Deptford, they will host a game next week. They will either host Manasquan, who is number 4, and Delran, who is number 5. They are also playing tonight. So the winner of that game will come here next week.
Just a well-oiled machine, guys. I mean, it's like we talked about them being dynamic with a lot of different weapons on both sides of the ball. Well coached, and just something you've seen year in and year out over the last 25 years.
Sterling's definitely going to get some really good field position from this.
So they penalty after the touchdown, a score just in. Haddonfield leading Shore 14-7. That's late in the second quarter. Again, those games started at 7 o'clock. That's why we're not going to get many finals. So, again, we'll see if Sterling can run something back and get anything going. Woodbury has scored on their first drive of the game. They lead at 7-0. Kickoff coming up. This will be Potts. Takes a West Deptford bounce. He'll come in his own 13. Spinning, still on his feet. Good job by Potts, who has not given up. Potts is going to come out to the 32-yard
West
line.
Deptford says they have it.
And we'll see what they call. So they're saying still Sterling ball. So from the 32, it's going to be 1st and 10. Want to congratulate the Group 1 boys soccer champs from Lindenwold on an upset win today from the Colonial Conference. So they are the Group 1 soccer champs. Edgewood, or excuse me, some other scores. Pennsville leads Woodstown 7-6. And again, we started our game at 6, so a lot of our game will be done well before anybody else. 1st and 10 for Sterling. 6:06 and counting in this game. Pass near side, Esther Mara. He is going to run into a wall of black shirts and going to lose about 4 yards. Tackled on the play by Royal.
Well, Mike Estermera just trying to make something happen. You know, from probably the latter part of the first quarter on, that play's been pretty much stopped, blanketed by West Deptford defensively, just getting everybody over there on the outside, and Mike Estermera was kind of forced to try and turn it to the inside, but West Deptford also had somebody there to make the play.
We'll give you some more scores around the South Jersey area after this play. 2nd down and 13. Pass play. Look out. Oh, Gizmani on a sack, on a blitz. Nobody picked him up, and we're lucky Thompson able to get up. Here's some more scores around the league. Timber Creek leads Raritan 21-14. Williamstown 35. Huntington Central 3. Millville leads Clearview 16-14. Hamilton 21-0 over Brick Township. Seneca 14. Ocean 14. Shawnee leads Neptune 20-14. Gateway 45-0 over Point Pleasant Beach. Southern 7, Vineland 0. As we round out some of the scores that are going on right now. Far side Williams. Williams tackled on the play by Gizmondi. So Gizmondi having a night there. That's going to be lose about 4 or 5 on that one.
Yeah, just an outstanding player. I know he was honored at the Brooks Irvine Club as the scholarship athlete of the week, and just I believe a wrestler, and just a dynamic player on both sides of the ball. Really comes up and makes his presence known, whether it's in the passing game, defending the pass, or coming up as a run stopper.
Here comes a punt as we zoom it out to the left side of your screen. Nice high kick. Cologne takes it at his own 47. Cologne around the edge. Vales comes in on him, runs over Vales, but Vales able to hold on and make the tackle at the 11-yard line. 3:52 remaining in the Sterling season. They trail it 42-0. And obviously, as we mentioned, West Deptford getting ready next week. They're going to host either Manasquan or Delray, the number 4 and 5 teams in the South Jersey bracket.
Like I said, I don't know that there's another team, and even they've battled back and forth with Haddonfield in years past, but
It looks
I think
like
they're on another level than Haddonfield.
Sterling, it looks like, has just exchanged a lot of starters. So Sterling has gone to their second squad. Gives some seniors who may not play a chance to play a little bit. From the 11, 1st and 10. Wide open near side. Pushed out of bounds as running that one was Gilmore as he was pushed out. Well, it took West Deptford a little bit to get the engine going, but once the second quarter hit, all cylinders were running.
Is Gilmore related to Happy Gilmore by any chance?
He would be very happy tonight there, John. Yes, he would. From the 6, 2nd and 4. Cherry will go into the end zone for the touchdown, and West Deptford increases their lead. It's now 48-0. Extra point try coming up for Ratcliffe. And people around South Jersey looked at the score in the first quarter and saw 6-0. They'd be scratching their heads, but when they look at the final score, they'll kind of say, okay, yep, that's kind of what we thought would happen.
And I know even last year, I think in the first half, it was a fairly close game, but they just Deptford pulled away.
Kick is long enough. Kick is good. 2:49 to play in this one. It's been all West Deptford. They lead it 49-0. We'll let you listen into the Eagles fight song here. Well, if only the Philadelphia Eagles could win one 49-0 in 2 weeks. When they return to take on the Patriots, something tells me that it will not happen, but you can always dream.
And had a decent crowd, kind of sparse now. People have moved on. As it gets later, it's getting colder, and kudos to West Deptford moving this game up to a 6 o'clock start.
Yeah.
Because it saved our cameraman, Andrew Kane.
He's cold, and we'll get him started here.
weather.
There he is.
At least it's not snowing.
Hopefully not by the time we're out of here. 2 minutes, 49 seconds left in the Sterling High School football season. They trail at 49-0. The last time Sterling won against West Deptford was on this field in 2005. They won that game and ended up winning the division. They played Camden in their opening round game, a game that normally we would play on Friday. We decided to play on a Saturday, and we were upset in that game. West Deptford to kick off. Returnable kick here. This is Potts from his own 7. Potts is chased down from behind. That was Chris Malloy. Chased him down. Sterling get it 1st and 10 at about the 18-yard line in what should be the last offensive series in 2019.
And I know, you talked about the winter season. There's going to be a lot of these guys either with wrestling or basketball. Maybe some swimmers. Not sure if we have swimmers out there. But transition to their winter sports would start in a few weeks.
I've also heard that Dylan Jess will be doing wrestling.
Oh, okay.
There's Richardson. Richardson for about 3 as he gets just across the 20.
But again, he's been going off and on about it too. So one day he's like, "Yeah, I'll do it." Next day he's like, "Nah."
I didn't. What you were saying about
Dylan Jess.
Yeah, I wasn't even aware of that, but good for him.
You can see him during 5th block, which is sports broadcasting, who gave you all those nice, lovely
Introductions.
Introductions. Thank you.
2nd down and 7. Vales. Vales maybe for a yard. Leave him 3rd and 6. As we're at 140 and counting in the season for Sterling. So as we look back last week, they obviously it doesn't look like they're going to score this week. Overbrook didn't score. Who was before Overbrook? Trying to put it all together without my notes in front of me here. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 coming up.
Have the Jeopardy theme song going.
Willingboro.
They didn't score in that game. And then who was before? Was that Deptford before?
Deptford,
Deptford.
So that was
No, we scored in Deptford.
Well, I
No,
was saying that's
that
the
was
last
last
time
time.
we scored.
Oh,
Other than the Overbrook game.
Yep. Well, we did score. See, I'm thinking we didn't even score in the Overbrook game. It tells you where I am, up the middle. And planted in the ground was Gismondi, taking Richardson. They're going to leave him about a yard shy of the 1st down. Final 50 seconds, and we're going to wrap this one pretty quick as it's a little cold for us out here today, and the game's been well underhand. And so I'm going to take this time to thank Andrew Kane, who braved the elements outside for us. John did a great job of helping us this season. Mr. Schulz, great job as well. We look forward to seeing you
Great job
inside.
by you, too. getting all this technology together to provide the live broadcast to everyone, and it's a neat thing. And like you said, Tab, we're going to carry it into the winter season.
Mr. Strauss as well, very heavily involved with what we do here, not able to make it tonight.
Definitely looking forward to the winter sports.
Sterling just trying to run some clock out here if they can. They're waiting for the play clock from the official on this side, and they will get one more play in this season. This is it.
Honestly, if I was West Deptford, I'd let them score.
Well, that's going to do it for the 2019 season. West Deptford wins the playoff game 49-0. For John and Kevin and Andrew, I'm Tad. We'll talk to you next time right here at Sterling High School TV 19.